By now you have heard of Huawei. You've seen their products all over the world, their phones, their smartwatches, their laptops. But Huawei is more than that. Huawei is a massive telecommunications equipment and consumer electronics company, a multinational in the truest sense of the word. In 2020, they made 136 billion US dollars in revenue, and Huawei has over 197,000 employees. They have products and services in 170 different countries. And right here on their website, looks like they're inspiring global talent to shape the future with their Seeds for the Future program. So they seem to be outwardly committed to employee satisfaction and nurturing global talent. But what is it like to actually work for this behemoth? Here's what Huawei employees had to say on Glassdoor.com. Never, ever. 1 star. Pros: none. Worst possible employer and company. Cons: it is a madhouse where no one knows what it is to be done, but they commit to doing it in a week. Chinese folks don't trust anyone. The entire company is about copying code from GitHub repos. You are treated like a slave. No work-life balance. You are expected to work 12 hours a day as a norm, not an exception. It is like Chinese-controlled jail in India, says a project manager in Bangalore. This person has worked in Huawei for more than 10 years. Pros: it will make you realize that life have bad times also. Wow. Will get challenging work with no support. Cons: here we go. Number 1, 10-year experienced Indian have to bow their head down to 2 years experienced Chinese employees. If they don't, then career growth will be ruined. Manager or above can only survive listening to Chinese. If you punch a minute late, employee's salary will be cut for that day, but you are not expected to leave office anytime before 8 p.m. Cafeteria will shut down in stipulated time, so everybody runs to get a bite. If not, come back work area in time, appraisal will be poor. Number 5, expected to work 24/7 on demand. It is a slavery. They have no ears to life priorities. Number 6, laterals. Whoever from monopoly companies like in storage/cloud area, etc., will be asked to join with big offer. But once their knowledge is taken out, they will be irritated to leave the company. Huawei is doing knowledge hunt in India for new technologies. Employees are used and thrown away like Chinese products. Advice to management: slavery in 19th century. Respect people and the country in which you do business. I think many people think beyond money and society now. Try to change your outlook to society and human resources. It sounds like they have been completely defeated by Huawei. Come here if you want to be humiliated. This one is from Bucharest, Romania, so this is a global company. Pros: very high salary, nice building. Cons: lack of trust from the managers. Lack of merits recognition. Since I've been here, all my concepts have been basically stolen and converted into low-quality strategies, which ironically received high praises from the Chinese superiors. If you're not Chinese, you're basically just a piece of meat for them. You don't matter in their eyes. Whatever you say or advise against all their courses of actions, they won't matter, even if you're very skilled in your area. The Chinese managers, although very inexperienced in the domain they manage, always know better. Shady salary raises. Chinese managers have the worst level of English I've ever experienced so far. What's worse is that every highly important email is written in Chinese, even though 90% of the male participants are English speakers. The Chinese managers also report fake growth numbers in their projections and always get away with it. The work-life balance is also bad. High discrimination towards the non-Chinese employees, stiff clocking in and out procedure. I'm only staying here for the money. Honestly, I'm surprised at how long I succeeded to stay in this company, despite all the accumulated frustrations. See, this is what people mean when they say golden handcuffs. Huge distance between Huawei culture and European culture. Pros: the salary, if you stay long within the company, will be higher compared to the competition. Cons: very hierarchical, top-down management. Cannot criticize or give feedback on decisions made by senior management. You are expected to work 50 to 60 hours and sacrifice a lot for the company. Lack of access to information if you're not Chinese. Managers are not trained and have almost no understanding of emotions and empathy. A lot of military words used: war, frontline troops, and pictures shown that remind you of combat. Interesting. Advice to management: learn from the Western cultures. Do not be so arrogant to think that you can continue like you have for the last 30 years. A research scientist this time, an engineer in Markham, Canada. Pros: they have deep pockets and are willing to consider ambitious research agenda. Free parking. Cons: where do I start? This is a totally Chinese company, as opposed to an international one. Here is what is wrong with it. Number one, boss is always right in the Eastern culture, and you notice that in all discussions and meetings, my boss's contribution to the discussion was minimal, as he did not know anything about our project and he would not take the time to educate himself. Number two, non-Mandarin speaking people are second-level employees. And remember, this person is working in Canada. They are not consulted on anything. They have no idea about the discussions, project plans, etc. In our group, Mandarin-speaking employees would meet every day for hours, and we had no idea what the discussion was about, even though it would impact us directly. Most of the times, in the meetings, people start speaking Mandarin for no reason, without regard for the rest of the attendees. Very rude and disrespectful. They do not mingle with the rest of the employees and make you feel unwelcome. Number three, no transparency. In this culture, transparency is not valued and you are always kept in the dark. There are different standards for workplace etiquette in Huawei. There are multiple signs about not spitting in the kitchen sink, not dirtying the washrooms, etc. There is no diversity or respect for other cultures. It's all about the Chinese culture. In my estimate, 70% of the employees are Chinese. Chaos, chaos, chaos. We did not have projects for more than a year. Every day our boss would make up stories about the great projects we'll be starting very soon. He would ask us to create PowerPoints that no one would read, and no one would give feedback because you are not part of the clique of Mandarin-speaking employees. Be ready to waste your time for a year or two without having any actual work. Imagine what happens to your resume when you have nothing to show. See, this sounds like Office Space Markham Edition. Promotions. Be ready to see a junior employee, education, work experience, and history in the company to become your boss very soon. Back to point number one. Most managers are there because they speak Mandarin. This job is located in Markham. You have to drive everywhere, and there is no diversity like the rest of Toronto. I did not like Markham at all. Advice to management. Non-Mandarin speaking people are also your employees. That was quite a mouthful. Seems like the situation at Huawei is pretty clear-cut from the variety we've heard today. Have you experienced workplace discrimination or favoritism based on race or ethnicity? Let us know in the comment section. And as always, subscribe for more.